big talk, of course, is coming with Arian Wright making the jump, of course, from the NBL. But again, you got the likes of Rideau and Holden. This looks like a very strong Cheshire team, Coach.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they have White from the perimeter, the 5-man who stretches the floor. But then you have those athletic rebounding guards that can really keep the ball alive for them and give them extra possessions.
Well, the Sharks' opening game was on the road against the Newcastle Eagles. Now you can see DeVell Ramsey coming back into the lineup. Bennett Cook as well, the big man. We have Jordan Rattino. But Pipkins and Allen will have a big say in this game. And no doubt the Sharks looking for a big response. Sheffield Sharks is about to get underway. Kate Unsworth, Matthew Lloyd, and John Paul Pearson are 3 officials for tonight's game. Well, the Phoenix will be getting the first possession here of this game. Trying to make sure they get into sets early. Now, Coach, I got to ask you, this team shut the lights out, unfortunately, when they had you in their opening game against the Leicester Riders.
Oh, yeah. You know, you got to have your coverages right. Whenever you play against a 5-man like Skylar White that can stretch the floor, it gives a challenge to pick-and-roll defense. It'll be interesting to see how Sheffield cover that today.
Well, the Phoenix, of course, winning the British Basketball League Trophy of 2021. Trying to go down low to right here, but an early turn. Well, no, they're able to recover this one under a bit of pressure. But time winding down here on the shot clock. Well, has to force up a Hail Mary 3 from no man's land. Almost got it. Sharks surviving now. But let's talk about Kipper Nichols. His return to the Sharks has got to be a massive form of inspiration for this team.
Certainly a guy that the Atiba Lions trust. 90-plus games in a Shark uniform. Over 1,000 points for them in the 3 seasons. So he should hit the ground running today for them.
Well, Cook looking for the isolation. Got it by Skylar White, but the triple team comes. And the jump ball is going to be called between these two teams. Kind of like what you saw there from the Phoenix. A quick crash down against Bennett Cook.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. They like to bring help from the baseline side at times. And you can see what Coach Lyons wants to do with Sheffield. He wants to go at White in the post with Bennett. That time, Cheshire did a good job of really ganging up on him to stop him.
Atiba Lions, a former Sheffield Sharks player, was about to head to go and play professional basketball in Israel before having a bit of a U-turn, then becoming the head coach of this fantastic franchise here in the British Basketball League, joining in the 1994-95 season and actually winning the league in their very first ever year.
Yeah, they've been a consistent playoff team over the years. Coach Lyons in his 16th season with the Sharks, so he's been there a long time. This is a team that he brought back a lot of players this year from last year's team. But he wants to be a little different this year, he said. They only average 16 attempts a game from 3. Game 1, they take 30.
Oratino getting the ball inbound. Ramsey looking to attack here. Draws a bit of contact, goes up, and he will be going to the free throw line. But interested, let's talk about the Sharks in that opening game against the Newcastle Eagles. Only 6 made three-point attempts made out of 30. I mean, that's a lot of three-pointers to take.
Yeah, that was a problem with not being able to convert. And there you see with Ramsey, he's a guy at the end of the clock that can make a play. You know, 6'1", quick guard. You put the ball in his hands, and he can go by people, and that's what happened there.
Well, the interesting thing about DeVell Ramsey, a lot of people will remember VJ King, who played for the Bristol Flyers last season, but those two were actually teammates for the Under-17 United States of America team at the 2014 FIBA World Cup in Dubai.
Heavy hitters on that team, including Jason Tatum. So DeVell's been a big-time player from an early age.
Well, not a team able to get off the mark here in the opening minute. Phoenix trying to settle into this one. Ryan looking to attack now, spinning around, going all the way. He draws a foul. He'll go to the free throw line.
Well, interesting with the matchups from Coach Lyons. He puts Koch on Rye to start the game. Bennett Cook on Rye to start the game, the 5-man. And he puts Ratinho on Skylar White. So guarding Skylar White with a small and guarding Aaron Ray with a big.
Well, you know, a lot of people have been talking about the British basketball landscape, and of course many players do make the jump from the NBL to the British Basketball League, but it's only been one game, and I don't mean to haunt you on this one, Coach, but he looks like he's going to be a fantastic talent in this league. Yeah,
I think when you look at him, you don't know what position he really plays, but that's to his benefit in a way because he can do so many different things. Really impressive in game 1, handling the ball and making plays all over the court.
Well, Pipkins now trying to get things going here for the Sharks. Huge elevation for this play. Turn it over. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have something here. Transition, bit of contact. Getting rejected. Oh, good solid rim protection by Pipkins. After making the turnover. Phoenix come up with a loose ball. Again, momentum needs to be key here. Holden coming off one screen from Skylar White. Makes the bounce pass, goes up, and again, finish it with no problem.
And that's the problem with the pick and roll with White. Bennett Cook did not want to jump out there because he knew he had White on the perimeter. Holden able to go right to the basket for 2.
Well, quick timeout has been called here by the Sheffield Sharks. The Tiba Lions, a bit of an early timeout called by Coach Lyons.
Yeah, maybe unhappy with the coverage they just had on that play. I thought it would,
has really been the face of this franchise, and those are big shoes to fill when you think about the likes of Jim Brandon, the man who had his ingrained, his roots in the NBA, but also Chris Finch, the current head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. But at the moment, Sharks still looking for their first field goal. We're trying to run to that pick and roll sequence here with Bennett Cook. Finding Ramsey. Time winding down here on the shot clock. Sharks have to get something. Can they break down the tough defense? And again, a something out of nothing shot there, coached by Pipkins.
Yeah, solid D, I thought, from Cheshire there. But Pipkins able to hit that little floater off 1 foot.
Well, the neutral fan will definitely like to see this game go right down to the wire. But judging by how the Phoenix played, this could go one way. But Sheffield need a good response after their game against the Newcastle Eagles to go for 3 in the corner. They're going to go an offensive foul here. Well, I'm going to let you assess that one, Coach.
Yeah, good spacing there from Cheshire. They got a good look from Jack, who can knock down that corner 3-point shot. But it looks like Sheffield did their homework and are blocking out these wing guards. That was something that surprised us in game 1. With Skylar White out on the perimeter far away, it brings your big guy away from the basket. So you got to check down and block out those guards. Sheffield doing a decent job so far.
Well, the Sharks currently with Aaron, Ramsey, Pipkins, Rotino, and Bennett Cook on the floor. Ramsey looking to attack now. Well, nice pass in the lane, finding Rotino, and again, getting a wide open look there inside the paint.
Well, that has to feel good for Rotino. Had a rough night, opening night, 1 for 9 up in Newcastle, and that time got a nice dish and an easy 2.
Well, Phoenix with Rideau in the backcourt. Again, a bit of a zealous offense there, making a poor pass, and maybe it's the early moments of this game, but both teams just trying to get a feel for each other and try to get into their rhythm.
Well, still in September here. I think everybody's trying to get a feel for each other. I think it's a difficult time to, evaluate your team. You still don't really know too much about them. You'll find out soon enough.
Well, they went for the double team. Finds Ramsey on the baseline. Mid-range is up, but no good. Sharks getting an offensive board. Battling with the bigs, but another one there. Something Cheshire need to do is try to keep this very energetic Sheffield team off second chance points. Going for a tough 3-pointer. Step back is good, and that's a tough one. Shoots that one right in the face. Off the defense. Nice stop there for the Sharks. But hey, you talk about his position, Coach, but how can you analyze Arian Rye?
Yeah, he's tough. I think you see there, he can race the ball right up the floor. Really has good footwork when he attacks. Here you see Pipkins at the end of the clock. Second basket from him at the end of the clock. This time a step back 3, but with Ray, he is a tricky guy to guard. You put a small on him, he'll take him in the post. You put a big on him, he has the quickness to go by. It'll be interesting to see how teams defend him going forward.
Ramsey trying to put his hand in the cookie jar, contesting everything defensively. It's been an interesting jump for him to go straight from the NBA G League where he was with the Stockton Kings. In my mind, he definitely has been a huge impact for their backcourt since joining them last season.
Yeah, well, Coach Lyons brought him back. I mean, that says enough. But you certainly like his aggressiveness, his energy, and his quickness out on the floor. And I think he can make an impact on both ends of the floor with that.
As we mentioned, Sheffield Sharks joining the British Basketball League midway through the 90s. Winning multiple championships and trophies, but didn't win their first ever British Basketball League playoff championship in 2004 under head coach Peter Scanterbury, Richard being his brother, but a team that is very much accustomed to winning.
Yeah, they're a team that, historically has been, one of the teams up at the top. I think their last trophy win was 15-16. I know about that one because they got us.
I was going to ask you who they beat that game.
They got us in the O2 final. Coach Lyons put together this team looking to try to get back to finals and try to put himself in the mix, and certainly has a lot to say early to the referees. This is a long delay.
Just with the Tiba Lions, because he was one hell of a competitor. You coached against him, but as very passionate as he is, he's actually one of the nicest guys you'll ever speak to. Well, there's a penetration now. Finding White in the corner. 3 is up. It just rattles its way in and out. Ramsey getting the rebound. Sharks looking to extend a 4-point lead. Remember, losing their opening game at the Virtu Arena against the Newcastle Eagles. Pulling off in the mid-range, finding nothing but net. Just from 10 feet, a nice start here from the Sheffield Sharks.
Pipkins again hitting that jump shot.
Well, quick response there. Again, a bit of run-and-gun basketball. Nice response there from Maceo Jack.
You have to get back against Cheshire. They will push the ball up the floor and take that opportunity when they get it.
These two teams now going back and forth with each other. Ramsey slices the defense down, but I think it's going to take a last touch off of Skylar White. So it will be a baseline possession. Again, you can see him. He just fumbled it last moment. Had enough time and space to get a little shot off there.
And you see that corner, that opposite corner was open with Sheffield there. This is the way they double down Cheshire. So Sheffield trying to take advantage of that. And they had a good drive there. Like you said, he just lost it. And lost the ball out of bounds.
Well, Ramsey, Allen, Pipkins, Rotino, and Bennett Cook currently on the floor for the Sharks. Rideau, Jack, Stevens, Rye, and Skylar White currently on the floor defensively here for the Phoenix. Ramsey comes off the screen, takes a tough mid-range fadeaway, and again had two players on him, but no problem there for D. Ramsey. Well, Phoenix looking to respond now, finding Rye in the corner. Another kick out, good ball movement here from Cheshire Phoenix. Three is up and no good. Weak side rebound secured by the Sharks. Well, both teams now going from the perimeter. Three is up, and again the three is good. Well, Coach, you might need to get your umbrellas out because it's raining at the moment here in the Cheshire Oaks Arena.
And Pipkins had a great start, but that was a great find from Allen. He got in the lane and kicked it back out for the open look.
And there's the penetration. Finds Skylar White. He tries to three and again. A good response there from Skylar White. Both teams exchanging three-point field goals.
With all those three-point shooters on the floor, you don't want to allow penetration. And that time, Cheshire allowed too much penetration. Cheshire able to find a good look.
Pipkins now 10 points so far here for the Sharks. Well, Kippett Nichols wide open. Only just checked to the game, but why not try his luck? And at the moment, these two teams cooking it early on here in the first quarter.
Well, Kipper didn't really want that open look at first, threw it, and they said, hey, take it, Kipper, take it. And he did and knocked it down.
Rice spinning around now, kicking this one out. Phoenix go for another one. And just start to cool down here, just over 4 minutes. Well, Nichols in the paint now. Kicking this one out, find Adekoya. Adekoya tries a three-point, and somebody call the electrician because the Sheffield Sharks, they are shooting the lights out here at the moment. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a break. We'll be back momentarily. My co-commentator tonight is Lester Riders head coach Rob. Coach, Sheffield was 6 for 30 against the Newcastle Eagles in their opening game. Right now, I don't think they've missed a three-pointer.
4 for 4, hot start from them. They've done a good job of moving the basketball, playing inside out, getting good looks. On the other side of the floor, Cheshire with a cold start from the three-point line at 1 for 5. And you can see how last week's game with Cheshire has influenced the way Coach Lyons is covering the Cheshire Phoenix.
Well, bench technical has been called against the Phoenix as Ramsey unable to convert the free throw, but his team does have a 12-point lead. What is it about this Sharks team that, as a coach, you're kind of looking at going into a scouting report, in preparation?
Well, I mean, new team this year, a little different than last year, but they're not going to hurt themselves. Really solid on defense, get back on transition really well. The question is, can they put the points on the board? And so far, they've done that.
Well, Phoenix now trying to find a way in this game. They need some inspiration. The question will be, where is it going to come from? Again, under intense pressure, has to get something going. Has to put up a tough one. And that's going to be, foul's going to be called against Ramsey. So a bailout there for the Cheshire Phoenix coach.
That was close to a shot clock violation. You have to be really disappointed with that call. But again, the guards crashing in for the rebounds from Cheshire. You really have to hold that box out right to the end of the clock.
Well, the Phoenix currently with Chagua, Kristen, Stevens, Rye, and Rideau on the floor, while for the Sheffield Sharks, still with Ramsey, Pipkins, Ada Rock, Nichols, and Adekoya. Yeah, Jules Adekoya, a player that did play for you, but defensively, what does he give to this team? Oh,
he's a versatile defender with a lot of smarts, great late-game situations on that end of the floor.
Well, nice little play there by the Phoenix, as Rideau just getting his second field goal of the game, cutting this down to a 10-point ball game. Well, there you can see so far, Sheffield 8 for 10 from the field, while the Phoenix only 3 for 9, but early stages trying to build that momentum. Ramsey looking for a handoff. 6 seconds there on the shot clock. Got to get something going. Nowhere to go here. Has to put up another tough one. Adekoya unable to get the offensive board. Cheshire looking to extend. Rye going in. A bit of contact off the Euro step. That's good defense by the Sharks, but can they extend on this one? Well, Nichols made his last three. Maybe no. Going to get called for a traveling violation, but that's the second time he's given up a wide open look, Coach.
Yeah, the first one maybe you understand, just got in the game, but you just made one from the same spot. Let that one fly, Kipper. Little indecision there caused the turnover.
Well, Kipper Nichols, as we mentioned, has been a primetime player for the Sharks in the last few seasons, but it's interesting with the Sheffield Sharks, a team that we're very much used to being one of the top dogs here in the British Basketball League. It's almost been like a roller coaster in the last few seasons. Well, Phoenix now trying to chip this down to single digits. Trying to find ways to break the defense down. Getting a handoff. Catch and shoot for the perimeter. Can't get it. Adekoya with a rebound.
Sheffield doing a good job of switching late on those screens and really bottling up Cheshire's offense.
Throwing down to Nichols. Nichols looking for the post mismatch. Bit of contact, but again, gets that one to drop. And that's a good play for him, Coach, to cement in the low block.
I thought it was a good pass from Adekoya. That's one thing he brings from the 5 spot when he's playing the 5, is he can really handle the ball and make passes. And Kipper, if he gets that deep, he's tough to stop in the post.
Phoenix looking to bounce back here. Still trailing by 12. Split the defense down, but they go for another 3. Well, they get a good looks, Coach, but they're unable to knock him down. But Arian Rye with the offensive board, and he will go to the charity stride.
Well, they were making all of them last week, I'll tell you that, but some of them going in and out. But that's for Ray is tough because, you're missing shots, but he doesn't give up on the play. He uses that wide body, and he's got great hands and good timing under there. Nice job drawing the foul.
Arian Rye, originally from Canada, also holds British citizenship through his family roots. Went to Dartmouth College in the NCAA in his final season in 2021-22 in 25 games. Almost averaged a double-double with 12 points and 7 rebounds. And had a phenomenal season playing with the Hamilton. Also played in the CBL in Canada, which many of our British basketball players have featured in. He did play for the Scarborough Shooting Stars.
Yeah, he's a versatile player, and I think as the season goes on, everybody's going to try to figure out what you do with him, how you guard him, because he's not a traditional 4-man. He's not a traditional 3-man, so it is tricky to get the matchup right with him.
Well, foul is going to be called in the backcourt here against the Cheshire Phoenix, but I really like Adekoya. You had the privilege of coaching this bad. I mean, we know what a phenomenal team player is, but offensively, there's a lot that he gives to your team. His
passing is excellent. A big guy can pass. He has a good feel for the game. He'll make the open 3 when he gets it. Take advantage of the post player. The thing to notice with Jabril right away when you coach him is his high IQ. He really is in tune on both offense and defense and understands what plays are needed.
Sharks still leading by 10 points. Attacking the basket here very aggressively, trying to find those openings. Adekoya got it heavily. Well, they go for a tough contested 3-pointer. Unable to knock that one down, but now the Phoenix looking to chip into deficit. Rye going coast to coast, but can't finish it. A bit of a wasted opportunity there for the Phoenix.
I thought Nichols did a good job of challenging that shot and made Rye miss that. And that's for Rye. He gets the rebound off the backboard. He goes from backboard to backboard with the ball. You better have your defense set up to stop him because he can get right to that rim.
Also has a Vlade Divac about him getting rebounds, but also showing, the confidence to go all the way. But nice little change of the hands in the lane. And again, finishes under intense pressure by Allen.
Yeah, good move from Allen. Hudson just checked into the game, and he said, hey, Mr. Hudson, have some of this. Blew right past him to the basket, but a silly foul there from Allen in the backcourt. You don't want your players to pick those up, but nice decision from him here. Hudson picks him up at the halfway line. No help comes over, and Allen with the nice finish. Almost went out the door after that basket. He was going so fast.
Terrell Allen, as we mentioned, is going to be a huge factor for the Sharks, but speaking of Terrells that have played for the Sheffield Sharks, I'm going to give you one familiar name, Terrell Myers.
Sure, played against him a lot. He's from Connecticut, just like myself. Terrell Myers, great player in the BBL. Actually went to the Spanish ACB after he left the BBL. Led him in scoring for Girona, so he was a great player. But here, bad foul. Put them to the line when you didn't need to. But he misses both, so I guess it worked out in the end. And that's where Sheffield has to improve from last week. They gave 39 free throws to the Eagles. You're not going to win games when you do that.
Well, defensively, the Sharks do need to tighten up, but at the moment, they do have a 12-point cushion. Looking to extend the lead here. Throwing his down low to Adekoya. Adekoya makes a pass to Ramsey. Ramsey had a bit of time and space, but went for the tough one. And DeVoe Ramsey, at the moment, building his confidence.
Nice play from Adekoya. He's a really good passer out of that post. You can't lose your man if he gets it down there.
Biggest lead of the game now, 14-point deficit. Phoenix still going from the perimeter, forcing up the tough ones. Adekoya being an insurance policy is securing the rebound for the Sharks. Well, time is on the side of the Sharks here. They have a few seconds here to get the shot off. Ramsey keeps the defense, goes himself, can't get it. And at the end of the first quarter, it is indeed the Sheffield Sharks who lead this one 26-12 against the Cheshire Phoenix. We'll be back momentarily for the second quarter. Gladiators are leading against Fribourg Olympic in the pre-qualifiers of the Basketball Champions League at the moment, 23-9. That is live on the BCL YouTube. But at the moment, we'd highly encourage you to split both your screens for this game and that game. Well, coach, at the moment, the Phoenix finding it very tough here from the field at the moment. Not a great shooting percentage, unlike their opening game against your Leicester Riders.
Yeah, 4 for 15 start, 1 for 7 from the three-point line.
Well, there is the rebound now secured. Another turnover from the Phoenix. Ramsey looking to throw this one down to Adekoya. Adekoya bumps in the lane now. A nice little post move. Can he finish it, but doesn't get the right angle. But another steal here by Ramsey. Coach, this Sharks team, they are very relentless.
Well, that was Adekoya, actually, with those quick hands. We've seen him do it before, and he keeps the ball alive for Sheffield.
Well, one too many passes, ladies and gentlemen. Look out below as he throws it down with two hands in transition. And again, the previous play, Coach, you want to say sharing is caring, but probably one too many passes.
Yeah, sometimes you can throw one too many, but good job from Cheshire there, getting that ball in the open floor and getting the easy deuce to start the quarter.
Well, could have made it a 16-point ball game. Nichols looking to attack here. Makes a bit of contact. Gets rejected. Well, what a block shot by Maceo Jack. Can the Phoenix counter? They go for a three in the corner. Three is up, but again, no good. Well, case of living and dying from the perimeter, Coach.
And that's where Cheshire's been tough, though. The points off turnovers in game one were huge for them. They get the open layup the play before, and that was an open three. They're just not knocking them down.
Only 4 defensive rebounds for the Phoenix. 12 currently for the Sheffield Sharks. Tough shot there by Ramsey. At the moment, Phoenix just need to calm themselves down, settle into this game. Well, Rideau now coming up ball screens, finds Skylar White. Ramsey very aggressive here on the switch. White getting called a double team. That's much better by the Phoenix of finding other ways to score.
Well, that's what they did there. They switched because of Skylar White, but they came with 2 guys, and nice job from White to find the open man.
Well, the 14-point lead has been cut down here to 10 points. As at the moment, Atiba Lions are very interested, quick to call the timeout here to prevent.
And, that's his quick timeout, obviously, coming out of the quarter, but sometimes you need to.
Well, there you can see Coach Ben Thomas hoping now that his play can come up with a big defensive play at the moment. Cook here in the low block, guarded by Skylar White. Finding Ramsey. Off the give and going again. Ramsey, he likes to take tough shots under pressure, Coach.
Yeah, you can hit that mid-range tough pull-up. He does that well. But that was all set up by going inside. Going inside to Bennett. Open that up.
Well, makes the penetration inside the lane. Can't get it. Phoenix coming up with a second chance, but 10 seconds remaining here on the shot clock. Looking to isolate. Go for 3. 3 is up. And finally getting it to go again. And that's what the Phoenix need.
Well, Maceo Jack, when he has those feet set out there, he can knock it down. That was a good job again, though. It's getting in the paint with the mismatch. I thought Stevens went by Bennett, was able to get in there. Nice kick-out pass.
Can they extend on this one? The Phoenix will need to stop defensively. Cook now looking to isolate. Goes for a little bit of a jump, a bit too short, but now they have numbers. 3-on-2, makes the pass, goes up, and finishes it. And now it's a 5-0 run here for the Phoenix.
Oh, good job from the Phoenix of getting out in transition. When you look at this lineup with the Sharks with both Adekoya and Bennett Cook on the floor, maybe they can get out in the open floor and beat them for buckets.
Well, made his last three at the moment. He remains on fire here for the Sharks. And Stewart, he's got a very interesting NCAA career that we spoke about.
Yeah, he's a guy that certainly could shoot the ball from the perimeter. Played at Pitt, played at Indiana, played at UC Tennessee Martin as well. Jumped around a bit. But the first game against Newcastle, I was impressed by his shooting stroke. He was 3 for 9, but they look good coming out of his hands. And that time they looked good as well.
Well, Quincy Rideau gets called for the illegal screen. Well, Stewart, as we mentioned, is playing with a lot of confidence here, becoming a real threat from the perimeter. I mean, almost the go-to option here.
Well, he's a guy that can stretch the floor. You have to know where he is. If they're going to throw the ball inside, you can't help down as much with a guy like that on the floor.
Ramsey coming off a ball screen, trying to go down to Cook. Cook under the basket. The foul is going to be drawn against Skylar White.
Well, that was a great play from Adekoya. He's got 3 assists already in this game, and he pops. Bennett Cook rolls, and he throws that one-handed pass. That's his passing ability is surely a weapon out there that the Sharks can use.
Well, Cook, of course, becoming not the foundation big man, but, will do a lot of good things for your team, setting ball screens. But, in my mind, we have seen games over the past few seasons where he does have a very good low post game.
Oh, he does. He's tough to guard in the post. You know that. I mean, you have to really force him off his spots. And the thing with him is how long can he go? He played 17 minutes the other night, 4 fouls. How many minutes can you get out of him? Well, when he's on the court, he can be really, really tough in the post to guard because, he likes the right, but sometimes he will go left as well.
Phoenix now looking to cut this down to single digits. Tries a ball screen, split the defense down. Good ball movement. Even better closeout defense, but a foul has been committed by Stewart.
And you have to blame Bennett Cook for that one. Rideau split the ball screen and was into the paint. There you see, he goes right by Bennett. And now you're in trouble trying to close out these shooters. And good job from Christian drawing the foul.
This will be a possession back here to the Phoenix. Going to that pick and roll with Skylar White. White had the 3, takes a dribble. Skylar White nails it from downtown.
Well, that's what happens when you don't switch to pick and roll. He does get that space, and I think he does a good job of allowing the defense to go by him and still stay beyond that 3-point shot. He's deadly from there.
8-point deficit. Phoenix trying to be more aggressive here on defense. They've trailed by as many as 14. As Cook now goes into the lane, can't get it. Another 3-point shot here, and the Sharks at the moment, a team who only made 6 3-pointers against the Eagles. At the moment, they are cooking, Coach.
Yeah, they are, and that time it was off an offensive rebound. And those are tough to guard, those 3-point shots after an offensive rebound. Everybody's scrambling.
Well, Pipkins at the moment now leading the way here for the Sharks. With Ramsey coming off the screen, going all the way with a little finger roll, and just kisses that one off the backboard.
A pretty move from Ramsey. We've seen him pull up and take the jumper, but that time with the one hand extended off the glass.
Well, Phoenix need to keep their confidence here. Ryan going in with a tough little Euro step. I like to call that the Canadian step.
I mean, he covers a lot of ground with those steps. That's what makes him so difficult to guard. He goes one way and then the other quickly. Nice finish from Ray.
Well, Ramsey now been in too much time and space in the mid-range, but the Phoenix survived that, going under the ball screen.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that they did that, and Ramsey wanted to punish him, but wasn't able to.
Well, again, another quick shot. I got to ask you, I mean, he's made 1 3. Is that the right shot to take in the offense when you're trying to get back in the game?
Well, it was last week, so let's see. I mean, we'll see what it's like tonight.
Well, the rejection from behind says not in my house. Finds Ryan transition, and a bit of end-to-end action here from the Cheshire Phoenix. Yeah. Well, starts with the defense coach, but converting it into transition points.
Yeah, great pass. I thought he did a good job, Rideau, looking away the defense. And Rye, I said, he runs from backboard to backboard, and he gets the finish there.
We'll be back momentarily, ladies.
Got to hang around the halftime. It's a big part of the game here, going into, the second part of this second quarter. So a couple stops here, a couple buckets, right back in it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching us live on the British Basketball League YouTube, please can you subscribe, leave a like, but also follow the British Basketball League on all social media platforms. Well, Adekoya with a pump fake goes in and plays a bit of bully basketball. And Coach, you are very used to seeing him do that.
Nice move from the perimeter. He caught the ball behind the three-point line, but he has the ball handling ability to go left there. Little up fake. Nice finish for two. Good first half from Jabril.
Still a double-digit lead here to the Sheffield Sharks. Phoenix at the moment, again, as we mentioned, trying to find ways to break this defense down. Right with the post up. Has to kick out. Go for another three-point for the closeout, and that makes it way off the mark. Stewart secures the rebound. Sheffield looking to push. Well, no foul called on the transition, but again, the three-pointer isn't converted. Well, again, Cheshire go for another three-pointer. This one's wide open, and this one is no problem for the Phoenix.
Good play from Ray there. Pushed the ball and found the open man, but if you're Sheffield, you got to match up with shooters in transition because they run the floor well, and they do a good job of spacing out to get the open looks.
Maceo Jack making the fourth three-pointer of the game here for the Phoenix. They're currently taking his tally up to 8 points. Sharks now again trying to find that balance here on offense. Stewart goes for a Hail Mary three-pointer, and again, it's on target, but unable to secure it. Right now, drawing the foul. The foul is going to be called on the ground against the Sheffield Sharks, but you like the fearless approach this man has every time he has a rock in his hands, Coach.
Well, this time here, he makes the pass. Wide open for three. But he does a good job of rebounding, so he has the ball in his hands a lot. And then that time, again, the penetration, hard to guard, draws the foul.
Played his university basketball at Dartmouth College alongside Taylor Johnson, who currently plays for the Plymouth City Patriots. Those two were teammates last season at Hamill. And again, when you play college together and you have a successful tenure, but also an even better tenure when you're playing in the NBL, I mean, you're almost destined to play in the British Basketball League.
Yeah, he's a guy that I think a lot of the teams looked at because of the numbers he was putting up. And Cheshire got in there early and signed him.
Well, nowhere to go inside the paint. Hits the top of the backboard. Sheffield can't push this one, but not getting numbers ahead. Going down to Jules Adekoya. Got it by Wright. Jules spinning baseline. Nowhere to go here. Sheffield now going to get into paint, double clutching, drawing the foul against Skylar White. So Kipper Nichols will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
Nice play from Idle Rock. Had some good minutes last week up at Newcastle, and that time he showed his passing abilities. He got in there and slipped it nicely to Nichols. You see here, nice little dish here, look away. And Skylar didn't love the call, did he?
Well, I can't say he approved of it, that's for sure. Yeah, for the viewers watching at home that, want a full assessment of these players, what kind of position would you label Kipper Nichols as a player?
He's a 4-3, I'd say, a power forward that could sometimes play the 3. He's not a huge offensive rebounder, but he's a really good one-on-one player at times. I think that, he's a guy that can carry them at times with points. I think when Coach Lyons looked at that roster that he had, he said, hey, there's a need for that, and let's bring Kipper back. And like I said before, I think he'll fit in very well. I see him picking up full court. He understands what the team wants and when they want it.
This will now be his 4th season here with Sheffield Sharks, who mentioned played at the University of Illinois, but another turnover for the Phoenix. And at the moment, Cheshire looked like they're lacking the discipline and spacing in their offense.
Well, that time Ryan looked to take Adekoya, but Adekoya did a good job of holding him up, and there wasn't really much space in there to either make the pass or to finish the basket.
It's only the 4th turnover of the game here for the Phoenix. I mean, these two teams have done a phenomenal job of taking care of the basketball. But, for the Phoenix, trailing by 10, they can't afford those turnovers. Nichols on the screen now. Goes in a little teardrop off the backboard. A blocking foul is going to be called against the Phoenix. Now, explaining to the viewers, why has that been called a blocking foul as opposed to a charge?
Well, I guess he was moving. I have to watch that again. And that time, Idle Rock came off a down screen. Nobody was there. Was his foot in there? I'm not sure. I can't see. It looked like he had pretty good position. That's why the puzzled look on his face, as you can see here. Huh? What? No way.
See, my issue with that is I thought he was inside the restricted zone, but you clearly saw in the replay he wasn't.
Yeah, I guess they thought he moved in late. And that's a tough call for the officials to make, that block charge call. Always a challenge.
Of course, all the viewers watching, when you are not the primary defender and you are within inside the restricted zone, the semicircle shape, that's always going to be called a blocking foul. But in that case, that's a very tough call, Coach.
Tough call.
Second free throw has been converted. It's always great when you see a new player come to the British Basketball because, you know, we are a very unique pro league as opposed to our counterparts in Europe and all over the world for that matter. But, you know, how do you describe the British Basketball League to new players adjusting?
Well, there's a lot last week, only 31 now, so it's very important they find a way to break down this Sheffield defense.
This is also the beauty of the British Basketball League. No doubt, of course, Sheffield opening 2 games on the road. You know, a bit of a heartbreak for them on the road against Newcastle, but doesn't look like the same team that we saw in that opening game. There's a lot of time for you to bounce back and reevaluate how you go into your next game.
Yeah, no doubt. And here they go right into Aaron Ray in the post. Good defense from the Sharks.
Well, Sheffield doing a good job of keeping Cheshire off the offensive boards. Again, you like to see this from Sheffield. I mean, they're not a team that likes to play run and gun basketball. They do slow the pace down if they need to. Well, Adekoya setting the ball screen. Again, going in with a left-handed George Gervin shot. And again, Coach, is that Kipper Nichols or is that George Gervin in a Sharks jersey?
Welcome back, Kipper Nichols. They like to see that. Not a guy that went left a lot early in his career. He has developed that. Great finish, left-handed, off the glass.
Well, that could potentially be a 2-for-1 here for the Sharks, but they have to try and get a stop at Arian Wright, cutting down. No help side defense. Well, Coach, you might need to look in the lost and found.
Well, poor communication from Sheffield there on, simple cut there. 2 guys went to the ball and wide open, big basket for Cheshire to try to keep it close here as we go to halftime.
Ramsey coming off one ball screen. Well, they get a look in the corner. 3 is up, no good, but a rebound has been secured. Cheshire will get the last shot here in the first half, trailing by 12. Coming up the ball screen, taking a Hail Mary three-pointer. And again, the party just getting started here at the Cheshire Oaks Arena. Oh, again, Coach, call the fire department because these 2 teams, they have been on fuego in this game.
Big shot to end the half. That'll make Cheshire feel good, but good half from Sheffield. Solid on defense. Converted on offense, give them that
Hail Mary night from the perimeter.
Well, you see Coach Lyons watch that game, no doubt. I spoke with him, obviously. Speak a lot of coaches, and, he made adjustments here with this team. He's done a good job defending them in the first half.
Sharks getting things going early here. They get the first possession. Adekoya, the former Rider, looking for a post up here against Skylar White. Adekoya goes to the one-legged fadeaway again. That's way off the mark.
Adekoya in the starting lineup second half for Bennett Cook. Go right to him on the first possession.
Phoenix looking now to try and chip in more to deficit, moving the ball effectively. One thing's going to be on their game plan, trying to get that wide open shot from the perimeter. But time is winding down. Nowhere to go now. Spins between the defense, goes up, and they've caught a foul there. Looked like a good clean block. I don't know. I think they've called this one against Ramsey. Let's have a look. I'm going to let you assess this one, Coach.
I didn't know where Rideau was going there, but he made a nice spin move to get there, and that's a tough call. On the foul for Jack, but give Rideau credit. I thought he, took a little too long to make the move, but then made that spin move. Able to get him a layup. And you look at Sheffield last week, only 32 points in the second half against the Eagles. They're going to be hoping for more today. I don't know if the 32 in this half will get it for them, so they have to have a better output on the offensive end in the second half tonight to get the W.
Well, originally from Buffalo, New York, went to the University of Buffalo. Maceo Jack definitely becoming a big impact for this Phoenix team. Well, did actually play at GWU as well before transferring to Buffalo, but nonetheless now cutting it down to a 7-point ball game here. Sharks looking for their first field goal. Getting right to the bucket. Way too easy for the Sharks.
Well, Pipkins had a really good first half for them, and now he takes it right to the basket. We saw him hit the jumpers before, but this time on the pick and roll, Skylar White doesn't do a good job of corralling him, and he gets to the rim for 2.
Defensively at times, we've seen Cheshire look a little bit like they have struggled immensely, but now they're going to try and go for another perimeter shot. Go for the mid-range. Can't get it. Adekoya securing the rebound.
Good baseline help from Sheffield on the post-up. Holden likes to take little guards down there. Sharks dealt with it well.
Well, Nichols only 1 point away from being the Sheffield Sharks player. Second one, for getting into double figures. Looking for the isolation again, going off the backboard. Adekoya unable to get. Look like taking candy from a baby on that one. Pipkins now, he's been on fire and remains that way. This guy has come ready to play, Coach.
No doubt about it. But the play was made by Allen. He does a lot of nice little things on the floor. He makes the steal, kicks it back out, and Pipkins is on fire.
The only team that we have representing here in the British Basketball League from the county of Yorkshire. At the moment, it's a northern derby here between these two teams. But another turnover. Now the Sharks have numbers. Ramsey looking to push this one. Pipkins goes and, are you kidding me?
Oh.
This guy making a bit of magic on the floor as he now moves up to 20 points. Coach, he is just having fun out there.
Oh, I love that there. They changed the from defense to offense. And
That's been the three-point stat here for the Sheffield Sharks. 7 out of 11. That's much better than 6 out of 30.
No doubt. I mean, they were, all week, getting better. The legs under them. Early in the season here, the conditioning isn't great, but they've come out today and certainly look like a team that is poised and making the right decisions on both ends of the floor.
Phoenix now needs to rely on their offense, but another turnover. Ramsey, they have numbers. Ramsey throws up the alley-oop and the connection made midair. And again, he had to elevate over the arena for that one. Again, who else, Coach?
I don't know if that was a great pass, but great finish from Pipkins. Couldn't dunk it, but the soft touch off the glass from him.
Well, Pipkins at the moment currently on a career high. His total has been 22 points he's ever scored for the Sharks. And a shout out to Philip Brown for that stat. One field goal away from getting his career high for the Sheffield Sharks. In anticipation, starts with the defense, Coach.
Yeah, great play from Ramsey. Here's the alley-oop, but a little behind. But that's okay, Pipkins says. I'll just finesse it off the glass. Good play from him.
16-point deficit, the highest the lead has ever been for the Sharks. Cheshire searching for answers. Aaron Wright again going nowhere, but you know as well when you've got someone like Jules Adekoya, he knows how to switch on pick and rolls. He can defend players on the perimeter.
Well, Jabril used his hands really well there. He got beat, but he's got such quick hands. He's able to, make that play and knock it out of bounds.
Well, looking for the post-up now. Almost falling over. And again, somehow getting that one to drop. And that needs to be the confidence that the Cheshire Phoenix need in their offense.
Well, that's what Holden can do. He's a guard that likes to post up. Did it a lot in college as well. And that time, too deep and too strong.
Adekoya getting the handoff. Going in and around. Can't get the finish on that one. Maceo Jack getting tripped. No foul called there by the official. Play continues. Well, we've seen time and time again when the Phoenix have trailed, they've gone on mini runs. Holden had to look at the corner, but a good closeout by DeVell Ramsey. 7 here on the clock. Holden trying to post up. Nowhere to go. Again, nice little pass there by Aaron Wright. Good anticipation yet again. Well, Wright getting the offensive board, goes up, draws a foul, but unable to get the and one.
And Wright's one of those guys that if you're going to the park and you want to play basketball all day, well, hey, bring him in the car because he can do everything. He can pass. He always has a nose for the ball. He doesn't give up on the play here. He's right there. He's a guy that can fit into any team with that type of play. Tough to stop.
Well, made himself available there. They had the open look in the corner, but he had to, he made that pass. He had to go in for the offensive rebound. And, as a pro coach, what is the emphasis when you say to your team, look, nothing's working for us right now. We need to go in and be a little bit more hungry and go for second chances.
Yeah, I think defensively they're going to have to shut them down. If you want to get back in this game, you can't trade baskets with them. You got to have sustained stops. You got to start now. You're up down 12, still a long way to go. You got to do a better job on the defensive end.
Phoenix cutting it down, a 12-point game, going on a 4-0 run. But now they're going to have to rely on the defense. Nichols going in and around, can't get it. Good defense by Maceo Jack. Well, Maceo Jack of all trades having to play a variety of positions here for the Phoenix. Finds White, pump fakes. Scarlett indecisive what to do. But another offensive loose ball there from Aaron Wright. Good hands by Adekoya. Sharks looking to extend their lead yet again. Nichols now playing a bit of bully basketball. Coach, you might need to call the principal because he's bullying his way inside the paints.
Yeah, nice play from Nichols, but I thought the play was made by Adekoya. He came up with the steal down on one end, drove it down, made the right pass. Adekoya doing a lot of little things out on the floor.
Cheshire Phoenix, only 1 out of 3 teams here in the British Basketball League to ever win the quadruple. And a deep three come from Aaron Wright.
Wow.
That's what they need.
If he's hitting shots off the dribble from three, that's tough to guard because you know how good he is going downhill by you, so you give him a little space. So that's a shot that the Sharks wouldn't have minded, but credit Ray for finding a way to make it happen.
Well, another penetration, but the defense just been bailed out there, but it's too easy right now, Coach, for the Sharks.
Yeah, no doubt. That was easy.
It looks like a... Well, no, they're going to call a charge. I'm not sure what they've called.
Yeah, it looked like a charge to me. It looked like he was out of control. Not a tough call. Here's the advance. And boom! Draws the charge. LaQuincy didn't like it, but that thing was easy to spot coming up the floor that was a charge candidate.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back momentarily.
They certainly played well last week, but it's a long way to go. You know, you're still a long way to go. Just have to be solid. And we talked about it before. It has to start on the defensive end.
Sharks twice in this game have led by as many as 16 points. And, you know, Cheshire go on these mini runs and they try to go quick, but it's consistency is the issue. And again, defensively, they've been very vulnerable inside the paint, Coach.
Well, nice back cut there. They tried to get over the top of the screen on the down screen, but Pipkins with a smart back cut. Poor job by Cheshire, not ready to cover that.
Phoenix now trailing by 13 points. Halfway here in the third quarter gone by. White finds Rye, goes in on a nice little block, but a foul is going to be called against DeVoe Ramsey, I believe.
Nice pass from White. You know, got the pick and pop at the top. But again, another thing that Ray does is he cuts very well off the ball. And good pass and good find to draw the foul.
Well, another replay of Pipkins. Again, a nice little backdoor cut coming from the screen from Adekoya, but I think now he's actually reached his high ever for a points in a game for the Sheffield Sharks. His high previously was 22 points. That was a stat enabled by Philip Brown. Now 24, so he's reached his. That's a huge monument for him.
Yeah, good start. I mean, he had a good game the other night, I thought, in Newcastle, and certainly tonight. He's finding the basket from many different places.
Well, cutting it down to 11 points. 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. Cheshire just trying to hang in there. Yeah, what would you say, of course, haven't seen them in the opening game of the season, has been the difference. I mean, obviously, we know their three-point shooting hasn't been going to effect, but defensively, what's been the problem for Cheshire?
Well, they haven't forced the turnovers that they did in game one, and they haven't had the second chance opportunities that they have at game one. You stop that, really stop them on the offensive end.
Well, Arian right now doing the solid rim protection. Cheshire had momentum, but good transition defense by Pipkins. Can they cut this down to single digits? Well, Ramsey trying to be very aggressive here on the defense. Kicks out, they go for another three. Three is up, and again, no good. It's those kind of offenses. If the three-point shots aren't dropping, where do you find your points next?
Well, he tried to back him down there. I thought the Sharks did a good job of holding him up and not letting him get towards the basket. So they ended up having a contested three.
Bennett Cook checking back into the game for the first time since the first half. Going down to the tower. Double team getting ready here, and a foul has been committed on the ground.
Smart play from Bennett there. He saw that the arm was out and took advantage of that by drawing the foul. He's a crafty post player, has a bunch of different moves, uses his footwork well. Now coming off the bench, it looked like they can ride him out here at the end of the quarter. You see a lot of touches from him as the Sharks make their way through the end of the third.
A foul was called on the ground against Ethan Chagwa. So fresh 14 here for the Sharks. Pipkins now feel the confidence, but again, he turns it over. Cheshire have numbers. They've got to capitalize. But again, out of control, committing a charge. And that has been the story of the game here for the Phoenix. In transition, Coach, they have looked very, very poor.
Well, they got their turnover. We talked about the points off turnovers they had last week, but Sheffield again does a good job of putting themselves in there to draw the foul. It doesn't feel nice to draw a charge like that, but both times the Sharks gave up their body and were there to stop that fast break.
Well, the charge was called on Cam Kristen. At the moment, they need a bit of composure.
Pipkins now gets a break on the sideline.
Well, another foul is going to be committed.
Screening foul on Bennett Cook, I believe. I've seen a lot of screening fouls so far in the BBL this season. I think if you're a coach, and I am, you are telling your guys daily, you have to set good screens because they will call it. You see Bennett with the arm around the shoulder, easy call to make there. And when you go back and watch that on film, you'll see, you can't put that arm up there because they're going to call it.
I mean, he's a great player. He does a lot of good things, but the problem, well, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to that, the next week's biggest game of the week will be between London Lions and Bristol Flyers. That is on Sky Sports, so make sure you tune that in your diary. Tip off at 7:45 p.m. as Bristol Flyers will head to the Copper Box. Phoenix now trying to find ways to get back in this game. Crossing over now, going all the way, avoids the block, but again, just can't finish it. Another foul committed. Going back to the previous foul that was called against Bennett Cook. I mean, in the post, he set the screen perfectly. It's just such a silly mental blunder to make by putting your right arm like that.
Yeah, you got to be careful. And you don't want to pick up fouls if you're a guy like that. He had 4 fouls in 17 minutes last week, and that's usually the problem. Obviously, as a big guy, you're going to get called for fouls underneath the basket on defense. You pick up those cheap ones on the offensive end, the reaches or whatever, you're going to be in foul trouble.
Well, the officials now, I'm not sure what a team of Lions is probably saying. I think maybe he's saying foul was a little bit overzealous and maybe a little bit too aggressive, but no way you could ever upgrade that to an unsportsmanlike. Well, a man who came to this country to play in the league, and it's always great to see a former player of a club become a coach of that franchise.
Coach Lyons now is in a position here with 2:35 to go. Want to get a good shot. Don't want to turn the ball over. You want to keep this team quiet. And I think with good offense, you can do that.
Adekoya here in the low block, looking to isolate. Nowhere to go now. Kicks out. Well, it doesn't take many three-pointers. Shifting around the defense, and a 24-second violation. Good defense by the Phoenix.
I think if Jabril had that over again, he would have let that one fly at the top of the circle. Maybe tried to make too much of a play there. But yes, Phoenix with a good defensive stand.
That's something they've got to build their confidence on, try to solidify their identity in this game. Of course, the thing they like to go for, as we've seen in the opening game, has been the perimeter shooting. But at the moment, they are being tested. Early days of this season in the British Basketball League. Trying to find a handoff now. Time winding down for Arian Rye. Rye spinning, splits the defense. Almost got the and one, but he'll go to the free throw line.
And I think that when you guard him, you have to really finish the possession off. He has a lot of extra moves if you defend him, and he does a good job of drawing fouls. The way he moves his body, it's hard to guard him, and he flops, throws the head back, and he's going to get that one. He knows when the guy's too close, and he's able to draw the foul. Expect to see him at the foul line a lot this season with that type of game.
Well, these two teams have been scoreless in the last few possessions. It's been a while since either of them have been able to put a field goal. Coach, one thing I've got to ask you, I'm a big fan of apparel, and I'm telling you, I'm loving both of these two teams' uniforms. But this Cheshire Phoenix team, and they are called the Knicks for a reason, gives me a little bit of a similarity to when Carmelo Anthony played in New York.
It does look the blue and orange of the New York Knicks. Yeah, I was surprised when we saw them. I'd never seen orange in their kits before. I was surprised when they showed up with that.
Of course, my favorite night of the 2021-22 season was the retro night in which you coached your Leicester Riders against the Giants, and they went back to the uniforms from the 90s, especially, early 2000s for that matter, when Leicester under the great Billy Mims had won the double that year. Well, great defense by the Sharks, forcing the Phoenix into a turnover. Can they convert this into a transition bucket? But they're going to have to do it now from the half court. 1:20 to go here in the third quarter. Ramsey coming off one screen. Finds Adekoya. Got a wide open look from the perimeter. Three is up. Sharks going a little bit cold here in the second half, Coach.
Good pass from Adekoya. Wide open Idle Rock. He's going to have to knock that one down if he gets that open look.
10-point deficit. Three is up. Three is good. Oh. And the whole crowd all of a sudden finding their voice into this game.
Well, he was productive last week in low minutes, Christian. off the bench. And that time, with that funny-looking shot, he knocks it down. It's a kind of a push shot.
But again, Adekoya just showing the strength. Too big, too strong, and just too good.
Bad job from Cheshire after scoring. They got to get back and load up and not allow an easy drive like that.
Well, again, the Sharks' hands everywhere inside the cookie jar. Devel Ramsey felt like he was impeded when he went out of bounds. But 30 seconds in the game here in the third, but 12 on the shot clock for the Cheshire Phoenix. But going back to what you said there, I mean, Cheshire make a great play on offense, but it's their defense in this game. Inside the paint, they've looked very vulnerable.
Yeah, well, it's just a transition there. That was the transition setup where the five-man ended up driving to the basket and scoring. But still, down 9 here with the ball, a big point of the game. You know, we finished the second quarter well with that bomb from Jack. Let's see if they can get one here.
Well, the three-pointer would potentially cut this down to maybe a potential two-possession game. Perimeter shooting has been a struggle in this game so far for the Phoenix. The referees, again, shout out to the, well, I'm a fan of apparel. I'm actually liking the referees' uniforms every week. That's a claret color. I love that.
Sharp.
10 here on the shot clock for the Knicks. Going behind the back now. Bit of an isolation play. Elevates it again. No problem from 15 feet.
Stevens with the pretty move. We've seen him score. Played in the Big Ten with Minnesota. Double-digit scorer. That time at the end of the clock, one-on-one. Have some of that.
Sheffield dribblers down here for the final possession. Allen coming off the screen now. Goes to the mid-range. Off the backboard. Phoenix have a second left. Has to force up a Hail Mary shot.
Whoa!
Almost got it. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end of third quarter, Sheffield leads this one still by 7 points. We'll be back momentarily for the fourth. Victory against your Lesser Riders at the moment, trying to find a way for his team to get back in this one.
Won the quarter 17-15, held Sheffield to 15 points. They have to do more of the same in this quarter if they want to get a W.
Well, they will get the opening possession here in the fourth. Pick and Bubba White goes for a quick three-point again. Nails that one under intense pressure.
He was fired up coming into the bench as the third quarter ended, and he comes right out. He shot that ball before it even touched his hand.
They've trailed twice on 2 occasions by 16, but now find themselves 2 possessions away for getting back in this. But now their defense needs to come big. But again, Sheffield getting inside the paint, but unable to counter. Well, Cheshire make a three-pointer, and there's another one up. And again, unable to secure it. Ramsey fighting for the rebound. Comes up with a loose ball. Makes the bounce pass. Finds out Koya gets rejected. Well, that was a case of saying to Jibril, not in my house.
Nice play from Ramsey, I thought, picking up the ball. He's like that midfielder that wins the ball all the time. He goes and gets it, and Jibril got a good pass, but wasn't able to finish. Good defense there from Christian, protecting the rim.
Well, that was timed to perfection, because any later, that would have been 2 free throws coming up for Adekoya. Shocks to the chance now to extend their lead again. Good ball and find Ramsey, pump fakes. Takes his dribble, finds a three-pointer. Nice little play there by Devel Ramsey.
That's why when you close out the three-point shooter, you can't allow him to just up fake and take that side dribble. Ramsey with a good job there, creating the space and knocking it down.
Oh, we're talking about a player that doesn't take many three-pointers. I mean, he loves to go for the mid-range. But at that point, that's a big shot because it just silences the momentum from the Phoenix.
No doubt.
Can the Phoenix respond here? Trying to take on Adekoya, puts up a tough one. Nobody going in for an offensive rebound. Sharks could go back up by double digits. Ramsey kicks out to Adekoya. I was going to ask you, how many three-pointers did Jibril Adekoya take for you?
Boy, I'd have to look that up, but he'll take the open one, I'll tell you that. He's not a guy that takes volume threes, but he's a guy that you have to respect out there, and he does such a good job if you chase him by dribbling and making a play. But there's another big basket there for the Sharks. Back up to 9.
Ramsey going on a 5-0 run for the Sharks since the Skylar White three-pointer. Goes off the back door again. Probably should have kicked that one out in the corner for a wide-open three, but it will be possession back to the Phoenix.
Good defense without fouling from Sheffield there. You thought there was an opening, but they went straight up and didn't commit the foul. A lot of times you see guys just automatically foul in that situation, but you want to put the hands straight up and make them make the tough shot.
Well, there's going to be 5 seconds left here on the shot clock for the Phoenix. Aaron Rye will inbound this one. Right, finding Jack now, goes to the mid-range. Again, sticks that one with a hand in his face. That's what the Phoenix needed.
Yeah, I'd like to see Maceo Jack touch the ball maybe a little more. You know, he's 15 on the board now for him. He's looked really good when he's gotten the opportunities.
Back to a 7-point deficit. Sharks though still in the control of this one. Going down to Adekoya. Fancy the mismatch here against Skylar White. Goes in the mid-range. Can't get it. Can the Phoenix collectively build something up here? They got it back down to 4 points. But at the moment now, still trailing by 7. There's the penetration now.
Whoa.
Again, the referee wide open, but I don't think he could take a three-pointer for either of these two teams.
Well, that time LaQuincy did the job by getting in the paint, but poor decision. He wanted his players to move when he got there, but that was almost in the third row. And now you see the Sharks here slowing the game down.
Well, just over 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Can't a bit too much time and space. Misses heavily off the left. Right now trying to push this one here for the Phoenix. Right looking to attack here. Trying to go that spin out move that he loves to go to every time. Penetration down the middle. Slicing and dicing the defense up. And the Phoenix cut it back down to 5 points.
Well, last time he went in there, he tried to throw it out, but this time he said, no way, I'm going right to the basket. Big move. Big spot here for the Sharks.
Cheshire going on a 4-0 run here in the last minute 27. Rideau getting his third field goal. Sharks again turning down the temperature. And coach, I think the home crowd might need to get the jackets out.
Maybe a little fatigue coming into play now for Sheffield. Remember, we talked about how they scored a low number in the second half in the first week. Cheshire shutting them down here in the second half this week.
6:18 to go here in the fourth quarter. Timeout's going to be called at the moment. Sheffield, it has become Operation Hang On.
The time to go coming out of this timeout. We'll see what Coach Thomas has drawn up to try to cut this deficit even farther.
Well, finding Rye, well, just takes a deflection off Kipper Nichols, and again, Phoenix getting lucky there.
Well, that was a good play there. Rye takes one step and then cuts back doors. A backdoor play out of the timeout. He was open, but they weren't able to convert. Good call out of the timeout.
16 seconds here on the shot clock. Rye will inbound this one. Three-pointer would cut it down to a 2-point game. But Phoenix need consistency here in their offense. As the cut goes in, the layup no good. The rebound beautifully secured by Pipkins.
That wouldn't hurt if you're Cheshire. He had a good look at the basket there. He had just made that layup on the drive, but didn't make that one.
Offensive foul called against the Sharks. Coach, nearly 2 minutes. The Sharks haven't scored.
Well, we talked about that being an issue, but they're hanging in there. They know they can hang their hat on their defense. But again, another screening foul. You know, we've seen these time and time again in this league, especially this season. You can't give away possessions with the screening foul.
Well, big moment now again. The Phoenix have only scored 4 points in over 2 minutes so far in this run, but you know, they really have to capitalize and take advantage of Sheffield's inability to create anything in their offense.
Here's Rye in the post now with Adekoya. Strong post defender. Let's see what he has.
Rye going for the fadeaway. Tough one, but again, nobody going in for a second chance. And Sheffield, this is what I mean, Operation Hang On. They are surviving every single defensive play.
Good defense from Jabril there, making him take a fadeaway. That's what you want. You don't want him close to the basket.
Finding a handoff now. Pipkins leading scorer in this game so far. Ramsey's made 1-3, left wide open, takes it, fires it home, and Sheffield continue to pile on the pressure.
Well, that's bad defense there. He had so much time from behind the three-point arc, and when you're a pro and you have that much time, you usually knock it down.
Well, Ben Thomas has got to ask the question from his players, how can you have that wide open of a look? As Skylar White tries to respond again, under intense pressure, Skylar.
Wow, and that one, he wasn't open. He's coming left, but fades away and knocks it down. Skylar White trying to keep him in the game.
Both teams exchanging three-point field goals. Final moments here. Adekoya crossing over. No foul call. Knicks come up with it. Can they get something here in transition? We know one thing's on their mind. It's going to be the three-pointer. Three is up, and again, no good.
I thought they had an opportunity to take it to the basket there. Sheffield was slow getting back, but maybe the poor decision.
Sharks again, as we mentioned, that only one three-pointer come from Ramsey. Gone a long time without scoring so far here in these last few moments. Pipkins dribbling into traffic. Adekoya gives up. 2 seconds now. Nichols goes in the lane again with the dagger. Right at the dying moments of the shot clock.
Well, big play from Nichols. He's a guy at the end of the clock that can make a play. That's why it's nice for them to have him back. Nothing was there, but he created something out of nothing to give him the 7-point lead.
Well, Jack makes a penetration, goes up, and it will count.
That's a tough call there. He's driving to the basket. Maybe on the floor, maybe not.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back momentarily for this game. The Cheshire Phoenix, who currently trail by 5 points against the Sheffield Sharks. Maceo Jack currently the free throw line after making that and one play. Can't cut this down, coach, to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, big free throw here. You need them all now.
Converts a three-point play, but defensively, this is where the Phoenix need to dig deep and find something within. As you mentioned, Sharks time and time again have responded when put under pressure.
Well, Phoenix have held them to 25 points in this half, so got to keep up that work there, do a little more of that, and they put themselves in position to win at the end.
Cheshire have missed 4 free throws in this game. Think about it. You may go 4 of those missed free throws. It's a tie ball game, but at the moment, they need to be compact defensively. Ramsey comes up the mid-range. Doesn't get it. The rebound secured by the Phoenix.
Good defense from White that time to cause a tough shot.
Trying to make the penetration. Puts up another tough one, but no foul call. Clearly it was a push in the back. But Phoenix survived. White goes for another tough three. It's up and again, no good. Another offensive board here for the Phoenix. Pump fake goes up, and again no foul call, but the Phoenix are 1 bucket away from tying this game up.
And that's what you have to do, though. You have to keep blocking this team out. They're crashing the glass. Even the point guard that time was on the glass.
10 offensive rebounds here for the Phoenix. Something that has kept him in this game. Ramsey for the mid-range, under pressure, right in the face of Skylar White, and he goes over the sky to put them back up by 4.
Well, that's confidence from Ramsey. He just missed the last one, the mid-range pull-up off the pick and roll, but he's not afraid to take the next one, and he knocks that one down.
Sheffield just hanging in there, trying to hold on to their lead. Maceo Jack with a little push-up. He responds. Good defense by Dribble Adekoya, but not enough to stop Maceo Jack.
Maceo knows he had the quickness advantage there and took him hard left with the pullback. He's had a good game, Jack. He's let the game come to him. Now, like I said, he can get him more touches. Maybe he could be even more productive.
Sheffield just need to keep on piling the pressure. So far, it's been the moment here of DeVell Ramsey in the fourth quarter, keeping this team in the lead. Foul is going to be called against Maceo Jack, and again, had his hands up. I have to see the replay of that one, Coach. Well, no, the foul, excuse me, is not on. It's on, my apologies, it's actually against LaQuincy Rideau.
No, Rideau, 4 fouls in the first game. You know, he gambles a little on defense, gets steals. Got to be careful. Not in the shooting yet, so not a terrible foul.
Well, turning it over. Well, they come back up with it. Time winding down here on the shot clock. Well, that's going to be a traveling violation. Again, a bit of a panic button there push by Dribble Adekoya.
And fatigue certainly coming into play now for the Sharks. They certainly look like a team that is, struggling to get their legs here late in the game. But they're going to have to do it on the defensive end. Adekoya been out there a lot of minutes. We haven't seen Bennett Cook in a while. It's 2 minutes left in the game now. You got to suck it up and try to finish the job off.
Well, interesting thing you said there about Bennett Cook. I mean, he does have a slight little injury there coming from his nasal, but for the position that he plays, it's tough to play against a Phoenix team, as we mentioned, very quick, like to play on the perimeter. And at the moment, they are now 1 possession away from tying this game up or potentially taking the lead.
And pick and pop coming with White here. Switched it.
Trying to find a mismatch. Now we're under 10 here. Oh, again, had the opening, but fumbles it out of bounds. And that will be possession back to the Sharks. And look at the response for Coach Ben Thomas.
Well, when you get to switch to the 5-man, you have to take him if you're a point guard. Got to take him off the dribble a little late in the decision, then fumbled it out of bounds. But you can't hang your head for long. Got to get back now, play defense. You've done a good job in this half of holding this team down. You need a few more solid defensive possessions.
Well, it's almost a marathon here for the Phoenix. They get closer and closer to tying the game up. But Sheffield, you almost feel like at some point they can just keep pulling away from them.
Cheshire here only committed 1 foul, so they do have fouls to give that won't put them on the foul line if it's not a shooting foul.
Adekoya now looking to isolate against Skylar White. White now, no foul called. They're saying it came off. Well, Ben Thomas infuriated because if no foul was called, that might have come off of Jubal Adekoya.
Be careful now. You don't want to get a technical foul on this point. Got to keep your composure. 5 on the shot clock. Lock up on the out-of-bounds defense.
5 seconds left here on the shot clock.
Watch Pipkins here. With that staggered screen here for Pipkins to see which way he goes.
Cheshire do have fouls to give, but due to the timing of the game being 1:23 to go.
Well, Coach Thomas a little disappointed. They gave him, it looks like they're giving Sheffield a timeout, but the ball was in the hands of the Sheffield player. And that's what he's disappointed in. Well, Coach Lyons wanted to call the timeout here. He knows what a big play this is. Draw up something from out of bounds. Let's see the alignment here. Looks similar to before here. Ratinho away from the ball. Pipkins might have a couple screens here. Now they go to Ramsey off the screen.
Ramsey on the baseline. Doesn't get it. White secures the rebounds. Foul has been committed. It's going to be the 13th foul against the Sharks. Only one more to give here in the fourth quarter. 1:19 to go.
And that was a play for Ramsey. Pipkins with the fake backdoor. He got a good look. Ramsey looks like he wanted the foul. And White does a good job of securing that ball with all the pressure all over him. This is a big spot in the game here. A lot of delay. Give Cheshire an opportunity to talk about what they want to do on the offensive end.
Cheshire now have won this quarter 17-12. Only 12 points coming from the Sharks. They did win the third quarter as well, 17-15. But now is going to be the monumental moment. Can they tie the game? They almost throw it away. And again, that's going to infuriate you as a coach if you see your team's inability to get the ball inbound.
Yeah, they got lucky there. They got to get it back now. Ratinho did a good job here denying Ray. And now White's going to come up to help. Brings everybody up.
Cheshire now needs something big here. Just over a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Trailing by 2 points. Twice they've trailed by 16. But can they finally level this game up? Can they potentially take the lead? Under 10 here on the shot clock. Got to get something going. Rudeau now splits the defense. Kicks out, pump fakes, makes contact. Tough shot. But again, another poor offense there by the Phoenix.
Took too long to get into it. You got to go earlier. If you don't have something, you got to go earlier so you can spread them out. Now they need another defensive stop.
Sharks looking to close this game out here. Anything will make this a 2-possession game. Coming off 2 ball screens. Kicks out Ratinho. Ramsey down the middle. Finds Cisse. Cisse goes up. Cisse, no foul called yet again. But a foul has been called, and I think Ben Thomas is saying to the officials 24-second violation should have been called.
That's going to be interesting to see there. I thought he got fouled on the first play. Jabril Adekoya underneath the basket. This is a big call in this game because it'll be 2 free throws. See, Ramsey makes a nice pass. That's clean, I think, there.
That's a foul in my mind.
Yeah, I think the second one was a foul. The question is, was it before the shot clock buzzer went off?
Well, it looks like Adekoya will go to the free throw line. This will be a big moment for him. Make both of these. Potentially, they add the cushion. Make only one. It's going to be a 3-point ball game.
33 minutes on the board today for Adekoya. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Solid free throw shooter. What I found with Jabril is, though, he's a better free throw shooter in the big moments. He's a guy that doesn't shy away from that. You expect him to put 2 on the board here. Well, they're going to call it on the floor, it looks like. Ooh, interesting. Not shooting. That's a strange call there.
11 seconds difference between game and shot clock. So, defensively, Cheshire can go without fouling right away. Ramsey coming off the screen. Ramsey going to the bucket. Teardrop puts it up at wedgie time. Now, possession arrow. Who's it go in favor of? That's a question.
Sheffield, I think it's Sheffield. And that is a big play there. Bring the jump ball back.
Well, Coach, if that is the case, that possession might be what potentially wins this for the Sharks because, as you mentioned, goes to a jump ball, Sharks will get it back. So now the Phoenix have no choice but to foul, I believe. Coach, got to ask you, this has been a phenomenal game, but who is your player of the game?
Well, I think when you're looking at Sheffield, it was Pipkins. His points were huge for them in this game. I think his ability to put those points up on the board for a team that has struggled to score really in the second half, but those points from him were huge to give them the lead that they've had most of the game.
Sharks just need to get this one in bounds. Cheshire, at the moment, needs to commit 3 fouls before sending Sheffield to the free throw line. And there's only 12.7 seconds left, but now we're going to have a timeout as these two teams want to talk it over. But, if you're a team of Lions, what are you saying?
Like I said, it's a unique situation just to get the ball inbounds from there. It looks like White is going to be on top of the ball here to make it tough for him to see. Point guard taking it out. Best passer probably.
Well, again, Cheshire, as you mentioned, need to get that steal if they can. Now wide open at Adekoya. And again, where was the help side defense? Coach, you might need to go look in the lost and found for that one.
Well, that time it was simple. They switched and nobody recovered to Adekoya. It was an easy play to get the ball in bounds. You're surprised, I think, of how wide open he was.
You need to go whatever you get. You need to go for whatever is best. But, a three-pointer would be ideal. Getting the ball inbound. Well, they go for the three. 3 is up. 3 is no good. Sheffield come up with it. And Sharks fans, the blood is in the water, but they can smell their first victory of this season's British Basketball League coming up.
Well, that was a play they ran out of timeout for Jack. A fake handoff and quick 3. He got a decent look, and he got it quickly. You can't be too selective in that situation. But unfortunately for Phoenix, they couldn't knock it down. I think Sheffield will call timeout here. It's a good timeout call to bring the ball up the floor. You don't want the ball in the backcourt now because a turnover could lead to a quick deuce. If you turn it over in the front court, it'll take a long time. Here's the fake handoff. Good switch. That's one team that was smart here to try to get the 5-second call here. If not, foul right away.
Well, you got to get the ball inbound. Ramsey gets it right away. He's fouled. But more fouls must be given with 5.4 seconds left.
One more now, I think. One more foul. I think this one will put him to the line. Is that accurate?
I think it's 2 more, actually.
Is it 2 more?
Yeah, third team foul, excuse me.
No, I think it's the 4th. They had one down at the other end.
Yep.
So I think now, once it gets in, you will send him to the line. But the problem for the Phoenix is simple now, is that, it's a 2-possession game. So, they're running out of opportunities here. I think Sheffield should be able to easily clean this up and finish the job.
Well, Nichols gets this one inbound. A foul has been committed. I think there was a bit of a delay there because they were waiting for the foul, but I think the official assumed they were going to let the ball dribble out. But Nichols will go to the free throw line for 2 final shots here for the charity stripe.
Yeah, it took a long time to get that foul called. You wanted that right away, and I think they thought, you see White talking to the officials, they think they thought they fouled him, but now it's pretty much academic here as Kipper goes to the line. And give Kipper credit, just arrived on the court in a big moment, gave him some good minutes today. I have him for 13 at this point. Chance to give himself 15 on the night as he misses the free throw, but certainly got some really good minutes out of him. It's been very important in this W.
Well, big turnaround for the Sheffield Sharks this game. Many thought coming in that Cheshire would be the favorites. Credit to this team. They built the lead twice, and they've hung on, Coach. But at the end of this one, the Sheffield Sharks, they pick up their first victory in the British Basketball League season, 75-70 against the Cheshire Phoenix. Coach, job done here for a team of Lions.
Yeah, no doubt. And a little tight here in the second half. You can see the sweat coming off him a bit, but it sure feels good now to get